It's Friday, and it's Memorial Day weekend, right? Or is that next weekend? I never get those straight. Um, and it's just about 1 o'clock. Doing a quick little check, see what's going on. I have our friend Mayhem and Miracles up and running. I'll be checking in and out as we go. As well, who else do I have going up here? I have our friend Ivy up and playing. The Ivy and Rich podcast. And our friend Dagmar. Later, I will hook up with UK Medic and put some watch hours over in that direction. So, let's see what there is to talk about. I've been talking quite a bit lately about YouTube channel because it's a big interest for me. It's what I've literally have devoted a lot of energy towards this last year. It just started opening itself to me as a possibility of what can be done and what I can do with it. Our friend Dottie is here. Dottie says hi there. Eric, Dottie, how are you? How are you? And how is the van? And our friend Laradox is here. So, the other day I talked to our friend Joe, who has a wonderful channel. And she's very inspiring. If she comes in later, maybe we'll be able to drop her link. I don't know how to drop links, so. So supposedly, Laradox, we're supposed to be very careful talking about subscribers in live streams, because it can act as a red flag for YouTube itself, and you can get strikes against your channel. So you could say, can you visit? Things along those lines. Let's see, Daddy says van is still in cut mode, but on the 15th, new worktop is going in. Awesome. And how are you feeling yourself? Dardock says, oh, I know. If you know, then do me a favor and let's be careful with that. So where was I? Dottie says she feels better. You're welcome, and I'm happy. I'm glad. You got too much work to do to be under the weather for too long. So yeah, the last year, you start asking myself the big whys. So why would I want to invest time and effort into my YouTube channel? Everything needs a why. Or we need to give it a why, I think, in order to pursue it. I'm not saying that everything has a why or an answer, but we can ask ourselves, why do I want to do this? Why do I want a YouTube channel? Why do I want to give this much time and energy to something? And honestly, the answer for me, being of service, being able to connect and help people, in any way that I might be able to. Also providing a place where other people can help each other. And as well, I've always wanted to earn my living through my own creativity. That's very important to me. Dottie says, very true. Laradox says he loves books and currently reading a book called The Way Back. What's that about, Laradox? Let's see. Daddy says, I put all my van videos into private at the moment as I've had some problems from the person I brought it from. That's unfortunate. I remember you mentioning that you weren't too pleased with the situation. Sorry that you have some problems with that person. Daddy says not at all. Laradox says the book is a prison escape, but the escapees are good guys. That sounds interesting. I like adventure stories. I don't read a whole lot of nonfiction any longer, but still occasionally 4 or 5 nonfiction books a year. I have some favorite authors that I like to read. I do like not so much mysteries, although they might be characterized as mysteries, but more suspense. Action-based as well. But most of what I read is nonfiction. So, yeah, the question is, what's your big why in pursuing the things that we pursue? Laradox says all lives matter. They do, but sometimes when we say things like that, we ignore the fact that some lives are in more jeopardy right now than others. Some lives are more at risk than others. Some lives are more marginalized than others. Some lives are systemically kept on the lower rung of society than others. So, although it's a wonderful sentiment to say all lives matter, it ignores some obvious issues that need to be addressed. We can't coast through life because remember, my friend, the least among us. Mocha says hi. Hello, Mocha. And Daddy says, I've written everything from him as he feels he needs to dictate what I should be doing to the van, and it will make him mad, and he won't be able to see what is happening. Well, if he needed to dictate what to be done with the van, he should have kept the van and done it himself. Dottie's putting in the hard work, the effort. She has a vision. That's what matters. That's what counts. Laradox says, well, that's true. As the Bible says, all men are created equal. I agree. And they should most definitely be treated that way. So when we come across issues in society where all people aren't created equal, then we do our best to make sure everyone's lifted up. We don't ignore any problems, and we don't just do slogans of things like all lives matter. It should be obvious to everyone. So let's make sure that that's true. And let's lift up all people, starting with the most marginalized, the ones that need it the most, the ones that need help. And again, that have been systemically kept on the lower rungs of society. So I understand your point. I agree with you, Laradox. And I think the best way to do that is to live it. Our friend Noble Scrolling Traveler, although as I like to call him, Noble Savage Traveler. Always good to see you, Yo-Yo. Nice to see you too, Noble. Mocha says, is Veridoc serious, willfully ignorant, or just trying to piss people off? That's a good question. Dottie says, exactly, 100. Well, I look forward when things are better, being able to see how all that work unfolds. Veridoc is Mocha in your house now. She is not. Mocha says, words are just words, actions what kills people. And let's see. Veridoc says, Mocha, no, I'm not trying to be rude. Donnie says, I've got to pop out. Will you be here in 30? I will be here in 30. I've been shooting for hour and a half to 2 hour live streams. If people can put up with that much, Yogi. People can put up with that much, Eric. Eric LaPointe is here. Eric, how are you? How's the cleanup going? Let's see. I saw Eric over at Mayhem Miracles, Masha's. Again, that's the place to go. If you guys want to grow your channel, but you got to go there with the right attitude. You have to be respectful. And my honest thoughts are, don't go there with the thought of growing your channel as much as, can I help other people grow their channel? And conversely, your channel will grow as well. So Eric says, hey there, everyone. So, Night Watchers here. Hello, hello, ladies and gents, and all my non-binary friends. That's a nice introduction, Night Watcher. All inclusive. I like seeing that. Veridoc says, Yogi, do you in everything you do it in the name of the Lord? I actually do, although the name of my Lord is different than yours, although you don't see it that way. Your Lord is very exclusive. It's like a country club. It keeps people like me out, unless I conform, and I have never been much of conforming. Actually, Veridoc, and I've been holding this up for quite a bit lately. In the Bhagavad Gita, the entire book is about, it's a discourse between Krishna and Arjuna, and it is about devoting everything to the Lord. By surrendering everything to God, you're free of karma. You're free of the karmic effects. Joe Delaney's here. I was just talking about Joe. Joe's another one that I saw over at Mayhem Miracles. I still have her up and running. I get to pop in and look and see what's going on. So I was mentioning, you know, because I was looking at some of the chat, and I was talking about how to go in to grow your channel. You grow in with the attitude of how can I help? Who can I help? And when I saw Joe, exactly what she does. If you go to Masha's, you'll grow your channel. And you'll do it by making friends, by being of service, by gaining supporters. Subscribers are great, but they're numbers. Supporters are the ones who have your back. Supporters are the ones that when you need watch hours, they show up and they give you some watch hours. So Joe says, hi Yogi, I'm double streaming for support. I appreciate that. Donnie says, cool, thanks, I'll be back. Awesome. Laradox says, Yogi, I don't want to get into politics, but let me get into politics. I absolutely do support the current president. Eric Point says, long time no see to Joe. Let's see. I'm going to bring up our friend Eric LaPointe's channel real quick. I know I'm a little bit behind in some of these. Not too far. I can do it. I can catch up. Eric Point says cleanup is going well. Flower says not letting live off easily. Nope. You made it after all. I was about to say that our friend Flower is not going to be able to make it today. He's going to have a big announcement. You should have waited until I made that announcement, and then you could have made a dramatic entrance and said, no, no, no. Yogi, I'm here. Nothing would ever keep me away from this live session. And our friend Wolf is here. Hi, guys, folks. Wolf, how are you? Thank you for coming in. Very much appreciated. Laradox says, this doesn't take away from our friendship, but I love Jesus Christ. I don't see how that could possibly take away from our friendship. Flower says, this thing's battery goes down so fast. You can't keep it plugged in? Mocha says, noted, you have no true answer. Grow up, kid. That's all I have to say about it. Won't let you keep trolling me. Water up a duck's back. Over it. Laradox says, it's better to have 10 true friends than 100,000 followers. I would agree with that. Laradox doesn't support Joe Biden. It doesn't surprise me. Although it's sort of a shame because he's a lifelong practicing Christian, Catholic. Let's see. Nightwatcher says, I am someone who gets like on very big kick from religious people, from religious people. Like how can someone put their faith into something they have never seen or witnessed before? I can agree with that, which is what appealed to me with the path of yoga, as well as the path of Buddhism, as well as other like shamanic practices, where you're literally put into that in which you're seeking. The seeker realizes that he is everything that has ever been sought. That was also the practice of the early desert fathers in Christianity and the Christian mystics. The German mystic Meister Eckhart said, and this will be not 100%, as I don't remember the exact quote, but the eye in which I see God is the same eye in which God sees me. Mocha says he doesn't support a devout Christian. Go figure. Oh, we do not tell Mocha to hush. And Wolf says, we're doing good this morning, although yesterday was a bit rough. I'm sorry to hear that. Is Barb in a little less pain, I hope? Paradox says, Mocha, I'm sorry for being extremely rude. Flower says it was 25 when I opened it, 23 after loading, and 17 a few seconds later. It's 13 now. Wow. And Nightwatcher says, okay, it is a very big rule that no politics allowed, so hush, Laradox. We have actually sort of kept that as an ongoing policy because it keeps things flowing. I don't mind talking about certain political issues more than politicians themselves. Um, but I think even political issues can be a gateway to some bitter feelings. We have more important things to discuss anyway. We have the fact that our friend Eric Lapointe now has 50 subscribers. That's pretty big. He also has a frog. Or Eric Lapointe, is that a toad? And our friend Odom is here. Odom, how are you? Odom says, if you don't believe in something, you will fall for anything, and I'll always believe in my father. Wise words. Narayan, am I saying that right? That is the definition of faith. Mocha says, all good. You're a hypocrite, and that goes along with your brand of Christianity, so all good. Night Watcher says to Wolf that Narayan, you mean Right Moon Wolf. Not sure I got that. And Eric Point says it's a toad. I thought so. Toads seem to have that rougher exterior. Still pretty amazing looking. Flower says lights off. Wolf says she fell yesterday and the day before. I remember she mentioned she fell twice. Man, and that's such a shock to the body. Every fall is just a jolt. I took a slip on ice. This was in late March, and unsuspecting. I thought ice was going to be pretty much over. And when I saw something that looked like an ice patch, I very gingerly put my foot on it, thinking I'd see. And man, I just slipped. Fortunately, from several years of practicing judo, I was able to slap the mat, although there was no mat there. But it was still pretty jarring. So I can't imagine falling hard like that twice. Mocha says, boy, bye. Odom says he's good. So, remember, along with the no politic policy, is that we are keeping kind. This is a great place to practice. Because we're not always going to agree, especially, if we get more people in the chat, which I got mixed feelings about. I'd like to have more people in, but man, that does open things up to who knows. Above all, you can't say to everyone, be kind. I put it out there, and I hope, but it's a perfect opportunity for those who wish to have kindness as a practice in their life to practice kindness. And it is a practice. And as soon as you say, okay, I'm going to start practicing kindness, someone is going to come up and test you. And you're going to fail the test. And you're going to call them all kinds of names. You're going to flip somebody off in a traffic jam or whatever. And then you'll say to yourself, okay, starting now, I'm going to start practicing kindness. Here's the great thing. It's always now. Always now. Laradox says, Yogi, this Mocha is being rude. Mocha has special privileges on the chat. Wolf says, yes, sorry, my autocorrect is at work. Eric Lapointe says, yeah, I have 50 subs, but Tube hasn't recognized it yet, so won't let me go live just yet. Yeah, I think it's a couple days. I've heard the monetizing process can take up to a month. And I was extremely fortunate that that first part happened in a day. But as I mentioned to Mocha, I think it's because I have AdSense already in place because of my blog. Paradox says she doesn't have any content. She does not. She's not a content creator. She's a great artist, though. She is a content creator. She just, YouTube isn't her platform for sharing. Mocha says, yes, I'm fine. I get a little irritated by hypocrites, but at this point, I'm not going to let them get to me anymore. Awesome. Flower says, lights have been off for the entire day. Sorry about that. Mocha says, someone deleted my comments. So, no deleting other people's comments. And you know what, guys? We always have a choice in where we want this conversation to go. Mocha says, be kind, don't be a doormat either. I agree. Runner Boy says, I remember I busted a tooth out on black ice as a kid. Oh man, that sounds painful. Laradox wants to know who Mocha is. I thought everyone knew who Mocha was. Mocha is Mocha. Mocha is the significant person without label in my life. I think that's probably the clearest description that I could offer. If you find someone that you go through an extended period of your life with, through every possible thing, and I mean every possible thing, you'll be certainly fortunate. And I have that in Mocha. There's really hardly anything you guys couldn't name that we have been through together and stood side by side. Not always easily, but hey, it's not supposed to be easy. But yeah, it's not all about content creators for YouTube. As mentioned, Mocha's a really, she would say, no, not that good, but yeah, she's an excellent photographer. Let's see. And our friend Nightwatcher says, Yogi, I request you the removal of Laradox mod, or give me priority moderator to moderate Laradox. I don't mind giving you, I forget what it's called, the moderator of moderator status. But yeah, Laradox, I'd hate to remove you again. Hey, Nightwatcher, do you know how to drop links? So, here's one thing I want you guys to notice. Laradox, I want you to notice this for yourself. That things, things largely, one or two people show up. And the conversation largely becomes about them. And what a shame it is for everyone who kindly shows up to hang out. So if you find yourself as center of any conversation, think about it. It's just where I want to be. Do I want to be that person? Odom is very nicely sending flowers and prayers. Awesome. Thank you for that. Night Watcher says, Runner Boy Mocha is Eric's freaking ex-wife. Mocha is a long-time sub. Mocha has been a long-time sub of my life for 22 years and counting. And Eric Lapointe is Eric is pointing. To Mocha's comment, be kind, but don't be a doormat either. Agreed. There's you know, I mention this a lot. For some reason, we think of being kind as exclusive to other people, and we leave ourselves out of the equation. If you're truly being kind, then you're also being kind to yourself, and that means that you don't allow yourself to be hurt. Flower says the curfew is at 8 p.m. Mocha says I am not rude. I just stated facts. Sometimes they're not pretty, and sometimes people say things that they're not looking for a response for, and I give it to them. Runner Boy says, I think you have to go to YouTube Studio desktop to activate YouTube Lives. You know what? I think I saw something about that too. Mocha says, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. This is true. So, yeah, there's always indicators, signs. Am I being someone that is helpful? Am I being someone that's being of service? Am I being someone that is being kind? Or am I drawing attention to myself for whatever reason? If you find that, this is why Carlos Castaneda talked about using death as an advisor. That if you realize death was always present on your left-hand side, always waiting just to tap you on that shoulder, a large amount of your self-importance would simply vanish. What's important? Do you ask yourself? Is it more important to be right or to be kind? Because you can walk away from any situation and still say, I was right. But you can never take back unkindness in a moment. So, and I stress that because, man, we got people from all over the world right here. And we got people from different cultures. We got people from different religions. So here, no one's 100% right. I'm certainly not. So if you come in here with that certainty of my religion is best, I just don't know. I don't know if it works out in a mixed group dynamic. I'm not saying anyone is wrong for their faith at all, but this isn't a place for conversion unless anyone wants to be a yogi, and then I'm certainly willing to help out. But remember, yoga isn't a religious path, it's a spiritual path. You can be a great practicing Christian and Buddhist or Muslim or whatever faith and still practice yoga. Let's see. I'm not getting all my comments here. I'm seeing them on my desktop. So I'm missing a lot of your comments. Last thing I see is Eric Lapointe saying I'll check that out. Paradox says that he's sorry, didn't know who she was. Oh, everyone should know who Mocha is. And let's see. So this is going to be a little difficult because I can't see the comments on my phone, but I have my desktop up. Let's see. I cannot pronounce your name, but I see that you say I like spending time here. I appreciate that. Theradox says bye. Take care, Theradox. Mocha says, in the immortal words of my generation, whatever. Runner Boy says, I don't think I've seen Theradox do anything bad in the chat yet. I wouldn't say bad, but to constantly and consistently being offered the opportunity of conversion can get tiresome. Again, I'm not saying bad, but for one, I don't need to be converted. As mentioned, in the Catholic tradition, I was baptized, I was confirmed. According to the last priest I talked to, I can't escape it. I can go into Buddhism, I can go into yoga, I can go into whatever, but I'm a Catholic until the day I die. I get my last rites. Yoga, Buddhism, doesn't matter. I go straight to heaven. I get a free pass, guys. I'm good to go. So I don't need to be converted. At the same time, I think we come to our faith, we should come to our faith, not just because this is what our parents were or whatever. We should come to it organically because it calls to us that whatever path of God is the right path for us because we know it. And once we know it, we don't need to beat a drum and tell everyone, hey, you need to do this as well. Because now we have faith that they'll find their path, they'll find their way. Let's see. Wolf says, Veradox, you go through doors a lot. I have problems with doors myself a lot of times. I go through doors and forget why. Mocha says, no, don't remove him. He isn't a true concern as far as I'm concerned. He told me who he was, and I believe him. That's all. Whatever, all good. So, I'm going to return the subject back to Eric Lapointe has 50 subs, and he will be going live soon. Our friend Flower has 50 subs, and I'd like to see her go live sometime. So I'm going to skip past some of the Laradox comments. Because for one, Laradox is gone. Never feels right to talk about someone when they're not here. And Laradox can certainly do a lot of talking for himself when he is here. So we can pretty much move past that. Let's see. Night Watcher says, Miss Mocha, you are not rude, you're blunt, and that's one of the best personality types. according to me. Well, if it's true according to Night Watcher, then it has to be true for sure. I see no reason to doubt him. Mocha says, thank you. I tend to be blunt. You got me there. I wish I knew how to do like an update on my phone. I'm afraid to push too many buttons. I did that, this was a while back, and I accidentally hit the mute button, and I probably talked for 20 minutes without realizing I was on mute. And I think my friends Flower and Night Watcher were actually timing to see how long I would go before I figured that out. And Flower says, bye, gotta go. So again, I don't see everyone on the comment. I don't see any comments past a certain point, but I'm scrolling on my desktop. Runner Boy says he uploaded his live, by the way. Awesome. I'll be checking it out. Guys, make sure you go check out Runner Boy's last live workout. He was doing deadlifts. I think Runner Boy and our friend Duncan Walsh do some of the best voiceovers on their videos. Eric says, yeah, that's been happening to me today with the comments. Let's see. We got the rules. Rules with a gravity or quotation marks. I hold every rule loosely. Every rule loosely, even my own. No rudeness will be tolerated. I agree. Absolutely no political talk. I do agree. Be kind and help everyone. Most definitely. I'd flip that up to number one. Because you know what? If you're being kind and you're helping everyone, nothing else is going to matter. Don't argue with mods. You can argue with me if you want. 5, there is a 10-strike system. All warnings over and you're out. Okay, done. Flower says, send me a ray of sunshine, Flower. Very nice. I think I'm pretty much caught up. Almost. Wolf says, I often delete my own comments if I misspell too much or if I change my mind about the subject. Yeah, that happens here fairly often. And Wolf says, when I do it, it's to avoid misunderstandings and not to cause trouble. I appreciate that consideration. Nightwatch says I wasn't there when you were mute. Had you been there, though, I'm sure you would have conspired with Flower and you both would have been timing me. Actually, it's on my phone that I'm concerned about. On my desktop, I can see. Oh, let's see. Nightwatcher says, Yogi, on your desktop, you can tap the 3 dots on the chat and press the pop chat so you don't have to look at yourself because you said you didn't like looking at yourself. You know what? This is true, but I'm going to, I'm starting to appreciate myself more. Sort of half joking. I know somewhere on my phone there's probably something that I could press that would like refresh the page and that maybe I'd start seeing comments again. but I don't know what it might be. And again, I'm hesitant to press stuff. So, I mentioned before, the quality, what I'm figuring out, the quality of any live stream is dependent upon not so much what I have to say, but what you guys might want to bring up, talk about. So if there's anything that you guys want to talk about, if there's anything that, any subjects, whatever, questions, we're all good. I will make sure that I try to see it. Hashtag revive chat. How do I do that? I'm so tempted to push a button, but then that might be the last time I see you guys. Nope. Hey. Night Watcher, do not do that, please. Night Watcher, I don't want any more viewers here, and I certainly don't want anyone from Mayhem's. Mayhem, that's a place where people go to make connections. So I don't want anyone coming here from there and miss the opportunity of what they can be doing. Can you hear me? So please do not do that. For one, I find it, I had somebody do that here, come in and say, hey guys, go to mine. And I found that not extremely, but I found it pretty rude. So I would definitely kindly ask you to please not do that. And I hope you heard me. Are you there? For one, people come and go. Night Watcher. Let me know if you, Night Watcher, don't do that. What I'm going to do is end the chat. Because again, I really didn't want you to do that. And it's inconsiderate. So guys, Night Watcher's been there before though. He's familiar. So guys, I'm going to end the chat because again, that was the last thing that I wanted anyone to do. And for me, it puts my channel in a bad light, and it distracts from the wonderful thing that Mayhem is doing over there. So guys, I'm going to say goodbye. Sorry, not how I wanted, not how I wanted this to go. And I'm going to have to reevaluate what we're going to be doing on the live stream, because every so often, sometimes we hit our stride and things flow, and then other times it just doesn't go that way. So guys, I'm going to end it. I'll be back at 5. I did my best to stop Night Watcher from heading over there. I know he means well, but it's just not the way to do things. Boone says, blessings, everyone. Blessings to you, my friend. Oh, I missed Mocha's comment. So, guys, I do think it's best that we end it. Again, I'll be back at 5, and you guys have a good one.